Hey guys, it's me Noah coming at you with another video. Thank you for all the support as of lately. Regionals was a blast. I got to play a lot of new people. I got to meet a lot of new people. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name's Noah. Behind the camera right now is currently teammate James. We're normally the one who take care of the videos, but there are in total about 10 or 11 members to the team right now. But without further ado, I'm going to go straight into the deck profile and a deck analysis. I guess I'll cover my matches because they're all pretty brief. But this is the final build for what I ended up playing at Regionals. 2 copies of 07, 2 copies of 08. 08, she gains 500 for every Deskbot in the graveyard. She makes it so that your other Deskbots cannot be targeted by card effects except for her. And she makes it so that a Deskbot can attack twice. 07 is the Piercer, has the same 500 gain effect, and makes it so that your other Deskbot monsters cannot be targeted for an attack except 07. And then 2-5, 2-6, just wow. These put in the most amount of work all weekend. You didn't really use 07 or 08 for their scale effects. You normally used 07 or 08 to go for big plays. You could also pop these with Wavering Eye. I got this Pepe player really good because I went Wavering Eyes and I had 05 and 06 on board, and he had 2 cards in the scale. I banished the only monster he had on board. No, I banished the back row he had on board, and then I was able to just plus really hard. 3 copy of 4. He's your graveyard renewal. Really strong. 3 copies of 03. Really good. I probably actually would have won a game all weekend if he didn't get chain disappearance. Then we play 2 copies of 02. It's our searcher. You need to play 2 copies. You need to play at least 3 copies. Then you play 1 Deskbot 01 and you play 1 Twin Knight. I sided out the Twin Knight almost every game. The Twin Knight was really only useful to me once because there was only one time I could actually benefit from it. In the new build that I'm going to be working on, I'm going to be playing 2 Deskbot 01 and cutting this Twin Knight. So there's that. I remember when I was building the deck, I decided that I wanted to have the rank 4 potential without using all 3 Deskbot 04s, and you want to be able to use you want to have to use 2 Deskbot 04s to do that, because playing Twin Knight was not beneficial at all, and it would have been actually really smart if I cut it from the main deck, but oh well. Next, going into our spells, we play 3 Upstart Goblin. I might cut this to 2 actually. Somebody's gonna be like, oh, blah 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 blah. You know, it's not really beneficial at 2, but I don't know. After giving them 10,000 life points, you can, in this deck, there's a lot of times where you can only swing for 10,000. So it was just like, okay, I do this, and I can still deal game. Giving them 1,100, I would have to go through both of my Wavering Eyes, or I wouldn't be able to push for an automatic OTK. So I didn't really like the way this is feeling. I'm probably gonna cut this to 2. 3 MST. 3 MST put in the most amount of work all weekend. Anytime I saw an MST, I was really benefiting from its plays. There was a lot of times where I'd have to wait and I made sure that I MST'd the right card or I hit the right scale. Overall, it was just MST played a really big part this weekend in making sure that I was at least slightly successful. 2 Machine Duplication and 2 Wavering Eyes. Probably going to bump this up to 3. I might cut this to 1, but it's really strong against Magician decks, against Magispector, and against Dino Mist. I didn't think Dino Mist would really be a deck, especially because it just came out, but Of course, you know me, I'm always wrong. Just essentially having the Wavering Eyes won me a lot of games, made it so that me and my opponent had to stalemate. I did go 0-4, but I won a game in every game that I played except one, and that was just really bad. I'll talk about that, I guess, towards the end. Then one day of peace. Don't play this card. That's it. Foolish Burial. This card would have been really good if I played 2 Deskbot 01. So I had to side it every time, essentially. There was a time that I did use it. I did use it a couple of times to set up 4 plays, but in the end, it really ended up just throwing off the deck count and the numbers that I was doing in my head. So, one double summon. This card actually put in a lot of work all weekend. The simple fact that I could go double summon if they had stopped the play, or if I had gone for the 3-2 and then 3-1 play, it was just super beneficial all weekend. Raigeki, you can side this card. You don't need to play it in the main. I'm really glad I did play it in the main, but I only saw it maybe once, so. Now going into traps, this is the lightning round. I don't like it when you have boards and I don't. Wish I played this card at 2. 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 Funny story, so me and my opponent are grinding back and forth, and he finds a way to make Trish. He drew the last scale, Pendulum Summit, he drew in a Tuning Magician, and he went for Trish. I was literally like, I think you have the game. And I was about to touch the top of my deck, and I looked at my set card, and I was like, wait, I have Trap, Trick, Chapel, Nightmare. I activated it, forced us into another 6 stalemate rounds, ended up beating him out because of 3-2 and then Machine Dupe. And the band played on, put in a lot of work, but it's really more of a side deck card. Out of all of the options I chose to play, I wish it wasn't that. Going into the main deck, this is supposed to be 101. I gave the 101 back to Timmy. This card was really good against Pepe. Only time I really ever exceed. Didn't make, but you should always be playing this. Didn't make, but still good. Didn't make, there was no need to. Made this every duel except one, because I did not see Deskbot 01 at all. Made this any opportunity I was given. Didn't make. That's it for the 4 and 5s. Didn't make it all. Traps are irrelevant. Didn't make it all. There was just no opportunity to, and I was not going to go neg just to blow up their field. No real benefit. Didn't make once, but there was multiple times where if I had made this card, I would have had a game. I literally just couldn't make it, or when I needed to make it, it was too late. Deskbot Jet. I made this card once and it won me the game, but other than that, there was not a lot of synchro summoning. Star Year. You should have been Mistworm. That's really it. If I played Mistworm this weekend, I can guarantee you I would have won. I would have beat that Satellite player, which was actually probably the easiest matchup of the day. I came super prepared. I won that game 1, and then went into game 2, and we sat through it back and forth, and I had the opportunity to go for a Mistworm, but because I didn't play a level 9, I had to sync for the level 8 Stardust. And there was literally just like no opportunity for me to benefit off of the Stardust, so I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna go into my side real quick. You weren't in my side, wow. Jowgen the Spiritualist did not side into this card once. Did not side into this card once. It's Watt Pheasant. I should have played Watt Draft. Did not side into this card once. Siding into this card every game, I only ever drew it once and it won me the game because I just happened to have the back row answers. This and the band played on and one defensive trap was really all I needed to shut my opponent out of a play. Now for the spells. 1 Ixie Encore, 1 Soul Release, 1 Monarch of the Stormforth. Oh, I also played LAD in the side. I forgot to mention that. I already gave back the LADD. 1 Ghost of a Grudge. I never play a deck without that card, so. 2 Chain Dispel. Chain Dispel would have put in work this weekend if I sided into it. I don't even know why this card is slightly relevant. I thought this card would help me slightly. I was clearly wrong. I ran into no hand traps whatsoever this weekend. I know a lot of my teammates did, or like players that I knew did. But I played 1 Satellar Knight, I played 1 Dino Mist, and I played 2 Pepe decks. Memory of an Adversary really only helped me once, and I sided into it. I activated it, he banished, and I thought I had game, but I clearly didn't. So, game 1, I ended up playing Satellar Knight. Really cool dude. I just had all of the answers. I had And the Band played on, and I had Herald of Arc Light, and then next turn I went for 3 into 2. I went 3 into 2. I searched for the scales in 08. No, I'm sorry, I went into 302, and then I activated Machine Dupe. And then I flipped And the Band played on, and he just had no place. That was really about it. Game 2, he had, like, we were both just grinding. He ended up beating me out fair and square. In game 3, I drew probably the worst hand I drew all weekend. I drew 2 Machine Dupes, one Day of Peace, and 1 MST, and then 107, and there was literally just nothing I could do. So he stopped me. Game 2, did I end up playing next to you game 2 or game 3?
No, I think that was game 2. Yeah, that was game 2.
So, funny story. So, game 2, I'm sitting there and I go and take a look at my thing. I go and take a seat and I'm just like, okay, I'll wait for my opponent. Talking to the guy in front of me, I'm just like, hey, what's going on? My name's Noah. Suddenly James takes a seat next to me and was like, wait, I'm playing next to James? Could not focus at all. Could not focus at all. I've never had so much fun playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On a competitive level in my entire life. He was actually a really cool dude. I think he actually I already top 16'd.
Something like that.
And so he was the guy I made the Trish against. I waver and eyes his board. We literally sat there and there was like, I think there was like a good 7 turns where I'd just turn and look at James and it'd be like, yo, do you have the answer? Like, do you know if I'm about to draw a card? Because if I don't, he wins. And every time I said that, I ended up drawing some kind of miracle solution that would save me for a turn. But then he drew the Magician and he just pendulumed and then kind of just killed me. It was actually really depressing. So that was about it. Game 3 I ended up playing another Pepe deck. I ended up playing next to 2 of the same people I was sitting next to game 1, which I thought was absolutely hysterical. Lost that game. Like, I don't even remember that game. I remember he going, okay, I bring out 3 odd eyes, I negate your spells, traps, and your monster's effect, and you lose. And then game 2, he did the same thing over again, and my side just wasn't strong enough for it. And then game 4, I played Dino Mist, and I should have had that game. Game 1, I won. Game 2, I have the 3 2s, and I have 08 on board. Literally, all I needed to do was not summon the 08, because I already had the 3 on board. I just chose the Pendulum for the 8 to make sure that I could put enough damage in case he had, like, in case his back row were actually something. But his back row required me to have a certain amount of monsters, and then he ended up just stalling, and it was really, really annoying. Wow. Yeah, that's about it. Is there anything you want to say about your experience?
No.
Wow. That
What,
made
2
me...
and 2?
Oh yeah. Teammate Jonathan ended up going 4-2-2. No, he went 4-2-2 because he played all 8 rounds.
Oh.
So I guess I'm gonna get Pablo to do a deck profile, but this has been Noah of Team One and signing out.